Hello. Today I'm with my bigger cousin, and we're going to be discussing nickel and dimed and several passages through the story that stand out. So starting on page 151, Barbara describes the hotel or apartment she's working at as very faulty. The rooms have no air conditioner or fan. And the thing that stands out about this is that Barbara has always complained about the conditions many people live in. How they're in poverty, how they're barely getting by, how they have to live paycheck to paycheck. They're always on their toes, wondering what's going to happen to them if they get sick or if they get injured. So this stands out because it shows struggles of everyday people living. And the author uses this to show the reader, here's the plan of action. You know, we need to protest, we need to organize, we need to demand that this should be changed. And the whole moral of the story is that people deserve better lives and better opportunities to actually thrive and survive. So when Barbara describes this, it really reaches out to the reader and actually makes them understand, hey, look, this is what needs to be done, and here's the plan of action. And now I want to know what my older cousin thinks about this whole thing.
It is horrible that everyday people in everyday society have to go through such horrible conditions. And there definitely needs to be a reform when it comes to people that work in low-wage jobs. There needs to be some kind of mechanism that ensures that they have appropriate access to health care, that they have enough to eat, and that their workplaces are clean and safe for them to work at, so that they are not endangering their health working there. It is very dehumanizing to ignore the quality and conditions of the workplace, regardless of what the wage is.
This is a true statement, considering how many people out there, we don't know them, they could be living this way. And also, this is also kind of discussed on page 112 in the chapter Scrubbing in Maine, where Barbara describes herself as very dirty and says, now I have a tiny glimpse of what it means to be black. And this kind of also stands out because it shows the reader and what the author is trying to say. Because the author is trying to say the ladder of opportunity for black people to succeed has been knocked down. And now that the ladder is knocked down, they have to put it back up. And they need to rely, on their very minimal paychecks in their jobs to get by. And it also shows the structural racism towards the black people, how they don't have many opportunities. And here's the thing: when Barbara says that she's dirty and she has a glimpse of what it means to be black, she's also saying they're probably much poorer than the average person. And I'm wondering, cousin, what do you think of all of this?
Well, the unfortunate reality is that indeed many minorities in America are disproportionately affected by low-wage jobs and terrible conditions, primarily because there's a history of racism in this country and slavery and all those kinds of positions pushed back many racial minorities. So now they need more time to develop and get to the point in which to catch up with society. And affirmative action has done a good job in some cases as well. But the unfortunate reality is that a lot of people that suffer from this are disproportionately racial minorities.
That's a good point. And lastly, as a final golden moment that stands out, is when Barbara discusses how the working poor's hard work on page 221 in that evaluation chapter, and she states how the working poor are approvingly termed, or the fact that major philanthropists in our society neglect their own children so that the children of others will be shiny and perfect. So when Barbara will discuss this, she's saying, look, the sacrifices that many in the poor are making are being ignored and outshunned because they have to do it for the richer people, for those who are at the top of the ladder. So this stands out because it shows how immoral the system may be for those who are poor. And it also affects the reader because it shows the reader, wow, it makes them feel more empathetic. Like, what if this was me in this position? And I wonder what relations or connections my older cousin could make to this in terms of what's been going on with these poor people.
I believe that some kind of system needs to be adopted to more adequately accommodate those that are working in lower wage jobs. A system that ensures that everything is running smoothly in favor of the workers and that none of their rights are being violated in any way. And that they are able to go to work each day making the minimum wage, enough to keep them not just alive, but living with at least some kind of comfort, not with all those details described in the book, like a lack of air condition, germs, bacteria, other unsanitary occurrences, as well as proper nutritious meals, and a comfortable place to sleep. These are all human rights entitled to each person, regardless of their wages, regardless of their background, and that they should be ensured and not violated in any way.
All right, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have you here, cousin. Anyways, guys, that was Nickel and Dimed in a nutshell. And yeah, peace out.